In the name of God, all praises be to Allah. The knowledge of self is the all knowing knowledge that I is Allah. If you have always loved God deep in your heart, deep in your core, you may love what you're about to hear. If you always thought that God was evil and God created murderers and all the negative in the world, you're going to be sadly mistaken. God has nothing to do with the evil you see. God is not evil, never will be evil, and never was evil. So, dealing with the divine revelation that was revealed, the understanding has been changed to the name of this channel. The name of this channel is officially the Universe of Al-Sufian Islam God Allah. This is where you are, and this is what it is. I come to share the way, and so all you can do is choose from what's been given. The universe you are in is the universe. The universe is God. The universe is God, and all within the universe is part of God. Evil have convoluted the sacred meaning and understanding of God. The universe is the unity of God. There is no duality in unity. There is only unity in the universe. What you may not understand is that you just join. So everything that you do within the universe is a large account. tracing, tracking, monitoring every step as a transaction. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's in your spirit, and whatever deeds have been done is recorded. As they tell you on the phone, for quality purposes. And this is the secret that has been hidden by your powerful elites. Your very powerful people of this world hide this knowledge from you. So what you believe to be separate is not separate. What you think you're running away from, you're not running away from. All is unity. The only reason why evil is still here is not because of God. The reason evil is still here is because you don't understand who you are. The knowledge of self is the all-knowing knowledge. Is knowing knowledge. And it's not nothing you can teach. This is something you have to know. You do it so much that you become to know it. I can't teach you the universe is God. Life have to give you the experience for you to validate it from your own reason. Every self has its own existence. If you are a fool to give your own existence off to anyone, you don't understand who you are. If you are begging and pleading in the universe, you don't know who you are. The powerful and the wicked hide knowledge for you not to know knowledge. It's not my job to come and tell you knowledge. That's your own job. You have a duty to yourself. I don't have a duty to you. So when we are understanding what is the duty of self, The duty of self is to know yourself. To know the self is to know the way. Understand it or not, as long as you've been here, God been the universe. What you think you in? This universe is called Islam. The original name God gave the universe is Islam. The way the universe got here is called Al-Sufian. And it got here by way of the creator, just as your flesh got here by a creator. So the message at the universe of Al-Sufian Islam is to know the way. Not think you know the way. I don't want you to make that grave mistake of thinking you know the way. If you're not being it, you don't know it. To know so and fail to do so is a grave transgression. Why you think the powerful and the wicked never teach you knowledge of self? All the times you've been on your phone, all the times you've been watching TV, why have not the powerful and elite fed you knowledge of self? And this is how they live off you. They're going to live as long as you allow them to live. Until you learn the rules of the universe. Not rules of man, not rules of city, county, states, but the rules of the universe. The universe has rules. The rules are you are your own creator. You have tricked your own self. You have convinced your own self. Nobody have done anything to you down here. You have done it all to yourself. You don't know who universe this is. So meaning you don't know the rules of the universe. Meaning now you can be convinced and tricked by self-belief. You believed in everything that you have done. That's why you did it. To understand why you exist is the ground purpose of why you exist. The perspective of the world teaches you not to ever look at your own existence, but keep pushing forward to the next thing, getting you to ignore yourself and how the universe works. Man is confused, and he is confusing others, online and offline. You are being physically and spiritually manipulated. If you don't know the rules of the universe, you are being physically and spiritually manipulated. The rules of the universe are you are the divine creator and you make your own. If you don't know, that means you have tricked yourself to not know. If you want to understand, you have to will. Everything down here is based upon will. Why you have not willed yourself out of your condition? What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? So, new flash alert. You are your own divine creator. And you make your own. When did you forget the rules? When did you stop questioning? Asking questions. This is the quest of life. The creator wants you to ask questions. Despite what you was told when you was young, when you become a man, ask questions. To question is your liberation. Don't sit around and just hear. Don't sit around and just nod. Ask questions. Wake yourself up, engage in life. Stop being a recipient and start being a creator. This is what the universe is for. This is the plane of creation, where the creation and the creator are one. The creator ain't to confuse you. He is to give you as it is. So when we want to understand the truth and not the lie, then you will understand the universe. The universe is not man-made. We're going to get into very understandingly why what's inside of the universe is confused. Most confused people don't know how to pray, don't know how to meditate, don't even know how to talk to God. Most will stay where they are because they believe in that God they've been praying to. The God you've been praying to before you had understanding has been taking all of your power. You have no idea what you have been worshiping as the nature of the universe. The universe is God, and God is the universe, and all within the universe is part of God. How dare you kill anything? How dare you harm anything? You know, every time you harm something, the spirit of faith leaves. And if you just move on from that commitment, the spirit of faith leaves and never returns. Everybody has been played by spirits down here. You had two great helpers to help you understand while others was punishing you, telling you you was cursed, telling you you was wicked. I come through and read these teachings like any man should have wanted to read to free and to know themselves. So one said that spirit man, that there's a man and there's a spirit, and that the man has no idea of his own spirit, that he begs, cries, pleads, works. And all who sadly follow these rules will get the same results. The results is you not following and knowing self, but you claim to be following God. The God you are following is a false God. If God is not self, it's a false God. The way is the self. And so the people that's going to keep you in shackles, the people who's going to keep you in bills, the same people who are going to keep you uneducated, the same people you serve. Look in the mirror at what you serve that's outside of what's in the mirror. So now most humans are 7 levels deep into ignorance. So I don't have time for you. For myself, I have laid down the footprints as I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death. Of terror, of fear, of trials, of tribulations. Many walk this path to be not. I walk this path to be. I'm born to be. If you never understand why you was born, That's not on me. Don't misunderstand me because you don't understand self. That's on you to respect yourself, not on me to respect myself. If I don't respect myself, who will? Since a baby, no one respected you. Until you know who you are, then you will be respected. Wake up, stop sleeping, you sleepy head. Grown men crying to other grown men, crying for them to stop, pleading that another man take his foot off his stool that he put his foot on. And you become that stool if you believe not in yourself. A self is not a stool for another to sit on. And so if you don't know the rules of this universe, you will be a footstool. Many people care not to tell you these things. This is how you should have been raised, to know that you, since a child, nobody listened to you. So why are you trying to get people to listen to you? I'm not here for you to listen to me. I'm here to deliver what I'm supposed to deliver, and it's DONE. I've worked my way to where I'm supposed to be. I can't teach you anymore. What comes after is all revelation. Everything that we have is outdated. If you don't know about the universe and its true nature, its true way, its true name, its true God, then you have done no self work. You have not profoundly dug into your true will. And if you're not possessed by your true will, then you are living another's. Another man's God is another man's will. How long you've been serving another man's God is how long his will you've been serving. You have not been serving yourself, or you wouldn't be poor, and you would not be serving God, and he have you poor. You are worshiping and serving a false God in the name of ignorance because you know not. You fail and self fail for everything that the liar laid in front of you. Once the liar even told you, study to show yourself approved. How's all this getting by? Because self is approving it. You ever not approved something and it never went through? Or you just never stood up in life and you don't know what that feels like? So people get a lot of things confused in this universe. The most confusing things that I've heard and observed is that humans are confused on God. So I hope this helps. A human is not God. Let me repeat this. A human is not God. Humans did not make God. You are a silly human if you think you made God. God made humans, silly. God made man. The ignorant man come and reverse it. Man made God. This has been the conundrum ever since religion and the birth of monotheism. You serving a false God purely. God name ain't mono. God name ain't theos. Those are names of Greeks. God isn't Greek. For Greek and Jews think they are the favorites. How can God be equal and have favorites? This is the insanity of duality. Every day you wake up not knowing how you woke up. Every day you go to sleep not knowing where you're going to sleep. And then you come to all knowingness. And you think no one created any of this. No one created life for you to wake up in. No one created sleep for you to sleep whenever life is. So when we take sleep and life, these are not anything you create. If it wasn't created, you couldn't go into it. What you think life is? Life is the universe. What you think death is? This is the other thing that's most profoundly misunderstood by humans. They are so afraid of God, they are so afraid of death. When I had my DR, this is how I know. I met death. So I know death from first-hand knowledge. I went to death and in the bottom of death, where you become completely unconscious. And my friend, if you want to be in the universe completely unconscious, just not know who you are. Keep worshiping things not divine. There are divine things in this universe you could be tending to. Rather, you serve the devil. Why do so many humans rather serve the devil? Now the devil got man saying he made God. Now the devil got man saying that he is the only God. Older people are getting too big for their britches. They used to tell us that when we was younger. Now I'm seeing the same thing. You getting too big for your britches. You're not greater than God, and God created you. And you don't know who God is. Because God don't make britches. God make universe and all things within the universe. When you wake up outside that universe, you tell me. Until you wake, and as you keep waking up into this existence, know you are a speck. Creator and the God is not the same. You are self-created. Yes, you created yourself, but you not God. God made self. And since you don't know God made self, you keep going after self-made things instead of things divine, God made. And this is the joy that the Creator get out of you, that he created you divine. And you rather go serve the ignorant. And then you want to act like you're not serving the ignorant, and you want to cry out. Divine is a creator. Those who have told you that God is man and that God is only man are demons manifest. These are the Frankensteins of the times. This is a very critical matter for all believers, because most people's belief have been siphoned out of themselves by these demons due to your lack of work. These demons constantly will feed you information. But there's a difference between information and transformation. If you ever met me in the flesh, you will transform. To transform is true experience. I've been changed. I'm no longer the same. When you was a child, that means you was innocent. But it also came with others knowing you was green. So that's why nobody listened to you, and nobody listened to you today. Don't worry about being listened to. God is watching you, God is listening to you, and God is witnessing. When you walk through the valley of this universe, you have to understand the valley is the plane of earth where things are made manifest for you to be challenged and for you to challenge. The devil challenging you, why you not challenging him? That's because you think man made God. You confused. And I can't help you. You have to help yourself. You have to fix your own condition. I had to heal and cure my own self. No one handed me what I'm handing you. What gave me what I gave you is God himself. And he didn't come in no person. God is a divine mind, and God only deals with the mind. If your mind ain't pure, you're not finna get no divine revelation. We talking about transforming power. No government can withhold and withstand what I'm saying. No institution can stand as long as eternity. Water is only a drop to the immense amounts of space. So when we are speaking about God that made space, it's the same that made the water. It's the same that made the sun. It's the same that made the moon. It's the same that made the light that shines in the sun. It's the same that made man. And how dare another man place himself in between man and God, to the point that you remove God and you worship man. God is holy. He don't care about your persuasions. He don't care about your sales, your discounts, your offerings. If you disrespect wisdom in the living universe, you are a wasteless use unto Allah. That's why the devil treats you like one. Man has declared himself a God above others. This is something God said don't do. If y'all can really hear this. Never worship a human as a God. God is not human that he should be worshiped as a human. I heard many things when it comes to God, what God is, what God does. Well, I'll tell you one thing God does. God does not respect prophets, his own prophets, as God. who was in human flesh of the highest divinity. And not one prophet, not even Jesus, is God. God don't die like a human. Don't ever falsely attribute death unto a divine mind. Death is for humans. And that's your spirit man. Your spirit gonna witness the death of yourself. And you scared dry because you did no work. If you did work, you will have light. If you have light, you will be lit. If you lit, you will love. And your love will be eternal, never running out because you going to eternity. Y'all have been tricked and been filled with hate. And hate is the sure way to hell. God said. Demons worship man. Demons worship humans as God. You are their prime feeding source. As an incarnated human, they need you to feed off of. There is no other deity but Allah. Allah, la, aha. Allah. God is universal. God is not a human. God made humans. God made animals. God made plants. God made the rock. God made the protoplasm. God made space. You in God. And God in you. All things that you see in this universe, they don't belong to you. Not me, not them, not we, not I. I don't belong to you. All things belong to God. You may kill the flesh, but you can't kill a thought. If God, Allah, is eternal love, how can evil be created? Somebody been lying to you. And they call the L's. The Elohim. Him the liar. The Elohim that you call your false God. Earlier I said humans are 7 levels deep in ignorance. Those 7 levels deep are called 7 spirits. And for me, you 7 spirits too deep for me. I had to work my way from a baby to a mind. And you sitting around here caterpillaring where you never gonna be able to fly. I have a mind now, I can fly. You might still have a flesh. I'm telling you that he who believes and does the will whoever does the will of God is a man. And a man is a Al-Sufian. Musallam. Divine mind, walking, talking, teaching, preaching, and singing Al-Sufian Islam. God, Allah, is with me all the way. You think I'm worried about a thing when God, Allah, is with me all the way. God is all, not a man, and definitely not a human that dies and take on flesh that lies. God wouldn't take up the flesh so he can lie. God would take on the flesh to become God. You help people all the time who is not doing the will of God. God is the only judge of humans. Y'all think you're not going to be judged. You are a silly fool. Just as you was born, you will be judged. Just as you died, you will be convicted. The universe is the unity of life and death. This ain't something you speak about. This is something you live. I didn't get here from coming talking to you. I got here from living the way I live. If you can't live it, you don't have a mind. You still don't know. God is not partial. God like himself all the time. God is not partial. For God is just. You see, the humans not. They'll let the unjust do injustice. But the mind of God fears not. Whatever you serve is on low because you can see your God. When you get your mind right, you will become a steward of God. Now, God is in humans, but humans didn't make God. I think this one is one of the deepest understandings that if you have a mind, this would be a time to use it. Teach, learn, stop working so hard, learn harder. And you will never die. You start learning, you will never die. You start working, you're working to die. What you think God created the sun for? What you think God created the soil for? Was it for himself? Or was it for all? So these powerful and wicked people who run you, tell you what to do, act as your God, act as your authority, make you their footstool. You never seen a family. They family never come see your family. And you been a subscriber for years. Someone who never showed up. So if we was to learn what they knew, this is what they knew that they won't tell you, the two wisdoms. You have to go through hell and a handbasket to get this to you. Because you ain't going through hell. You ain't searching. You not moving. You not willing. You just sitting back. And there's a wisdom that says the sluggish will is why man lose himself. Your will done became slow as a rock. When you used to have a mind that had the rapidness of volition. Ever since the cracker took this away from you, you've been wishing ever since. If you forget where it's been taught here, you never knew. A mind never forgets. So if you don't remember this knowledge, you never knew this knowledge. This is what we was all supposed to learn. Straight out the womb. Straight out the womb. This is what we were supposed to learn. Learn that God and Allah were one. See, these things were one until the demon separated them and put them in two different books. The demon throw God in the Bible, and demon throw the law in the Quran. And they've been separated ever since for thousands upon thousands of years. Separated out like Osiris into the universe for you to know yourself. Scattered them into 14 parts. 7 heavens, 7 earths. Allah said he created the heavens and the earth in the Quran in 6 periods. Before the demons manifested down here, God and Allah were one. But that through demonic thoughts, demonic words, and demonic deeds, humans tore the self away from God, Allah. When you did that to your own self, this is what took self away from this understanding. The spirit left self. The spirit was no longer in purity, but it was now gratified by its lower flesh. See, you didn't become flesh because God and Allah are separate. The flesh is one. You was made flesh by God, Allah. And what's inside of the flesh called yourself, you yourself tore the self away from God, Allah, and decided the flesh. Once you decided the flesh, you debased you yourself. See, before there was a Yaqub, there was the lower self. Yaqub had to have the lower self in order to create a lower self. So this is the myth for you to understand that these are demon gods, clothed in air, made of air, clothed by imagination. Now the self imagines. Now, it has no knowledge. So now it imaginates. It imagines it knows. Now it thinks it knows. When this is the understanding of how you save yourself. There is no need for saving if you have been born. There is no saving, y'all. The devil, the demon, made that up. There is no saving and no need for salvation. Now, in place of saving and salvation is what's called knowing. You need to know, not to be saved. To be saved is to be born. And everybody is messing it up, I'm telling y'all. I will get on a highway fast of knowledge, and I will begin forgiveness at such a rapid rate that I feel so light after doing all this. I don't know why people sitting around acting like you not going to die. You don't know who you are to die. Meaning what you gonna face, what you gonna witness, because you left that in your conscience. Instead of being a man, being a woman, and facing your challenges. I faced every challenge and I made it through every challenge. Because there's no need for saving. Nobody needs saving. Everybody needs to know. If you don't get what I'm saying, maybe this sentence help you understand. God, Allah, live in all humans. If you have done, not me, if you have done harm to humans, do you get what I'm saying? If you have done harm to humans, Allah, God, is in every human. And so the ones that do evil upon other human beings, the spirit of Allah has left. You cannot love Allah and hate knowledge. Can never. You cannot do both. That's called a heretic or an idiot. So many people say they love God, but they hate getting knowledge. How you gonna love God and hate knowing? That's all I'm in it for. I just could say, I'm glad I got my own body. I'm glad I got my own spirit. I'm glad I got my own divine mind that I attained myself. Because humans, y'all going down. And it's not by God. God made you to come up. I came up when I got the true understanding, the true knowledge. What you waiting on, what you running from, confront, challenge, and be a man or a woman. Stand as a creation of God. Right your wrongs, because a wrong was never right. Hate has never been right and to be appropriated on humans. Hate is not for humans. Hate is for demons. There's a difference between a human and a demon. A demon will hate humans. Where they do evil upon human beings. And if you have harmed a holy breath in any human being, you better ask God for forgiveness. And you better do what God tells you to do. Humans are creations of God. A human is your challenge of who you are. A human is the pride of God's creation. But all humans this is the thing about the form. The human form is so divine. This is why the demons want all of it. And they're going to get it by any means necessary until you know. You will be sucked dry and you will be left without knowledge. These people have not plugged you, injected you, filled you, deposited, wrote you a check of knowledge of self. This is the worst thing to not have in your life, and even worse, to not have at death. Death is not for your enemy. Death is not for your neighbor. Death comes to show you as flesh, not God. God is eternal, no break, no gap, no space. God can never stop loving to start hating. Allah cannot hate. Whoever is hating is a demon. Allah, the God Allah, cannot hate. He is eternal love. So this is how you get confused from a human and a demon. A human is eternal love fixed. A demon is eternal love died. This is how powerful knowing is. If you don't know who you are, you will die. Just by the fact of it. The magnetism is too strong. People, for not bringing out what was within them, have died for not learning what was in them. That was me. My life was gone and taken. Who that was died with that. Who you see now from that is the Spirit of the Lord. I went into unconsciousness. And no one wants to go to unconsciousness. That's why I'm ultra conscious. Because I've been to the worst of conscious where you have no conscious. You don't even, it's worse than sleep. Sleep, you wake back up. Unconsciousness, you won't. So if the Spirit of the Lord didn't resurrect me, raise me, wake me up, I wouldn't be here today. It's by the grace of a divine power higher than human. Is why I'm in front, is why I'm saying what I'm saying online. I'm not here to be seen. I'm here to deliver because I delivered myself to knowledge. And I was just like anybody else, a babe, young, dumb, and full of calm. I waxed myself through will to mind and wisdom. Most people couldn't sacrifice and do what I've done to receive the teachers I'm teaching. This is a divine right. I've seen no one on the planet since 610 return this to the people. And all had the same measure. If you went through that Bible, read it from cover to cover, if you went through that Quran, read it from cover to cover, you will be at the same foundation I did. Because when I read the Bible from cover to cover, at the end, incomplete. Read the Quran from cover to cover, at the end, when you get done, incomplete. Why couldn't y'all sense that? Who are you trying to impress? Because I wasn't trying to impress no one. I wanted to know the greatest truth without bias. And guess who showed up? Allah. God, Allah. And so the same God that saved me is the same God that raised me. What I'm bringing you, no man can bring you unless they are pure in heart. They can't even touch this book. Now, Al-Sufian is so pure that a non-pure being cannot pick it up. I'm all in it. 24/7 since it's been delivered. Can't get enough of it. But it's others, if they cannot open up the Al-Sufian, and you can open up the Bible, and you can open up the Quran, but you can't open up the Al-Sufian. This is a challenge to you. Only the pure in heart can sit, read, and teach out of the Al-Sufian. Islam, God, Allah. I had to purify myself to receive these divine lessons. I went without food. I've been without water. I've been on a breatharian lifestyle. That's how I received this. I received this from being on a breatharian lifestyle. But the Creator didn't want me to become a breatharian. But he knew I was headed there. And so he gave me the divine revelations. You're not a breatharian, you are Al-Sufian. So when we talking about study, learn to show thyself approved. This ain't got nothing to do with outsiders. This between self, God, Allah. You the creation, self, and God, Allah, is the divine creator. And he lives in you until you did something wrong. And you got to repent. If you don't repent, there's no of this clean spirit coming. Just as the light is clean, the spirit is clean. Demons are the unclean spirits. And demons are scared of themselves. A demon can't face themselves. That's why a demon don't have mirrors. The mirror is the mind. The mind evades a demon. The demon can never have a mind. The mind is of a divine status. It comes to whom it pleases. It chooses, not me. It chose, not me. When you get to that real level, when you chose by the Creator, and your testimony is the proof of the Creator, the divine exists in all humans, but the divine does not exist in any demon. Demonic thoughts is why you don't know what I'm saying. You might have received demonic thoughts from music. You might have received demonic thoughts from movies. You might have received demonic thoughts from demons. You got attitudes, tones that just give off words of demons. Radiation, resonance, heart resonance has no love behind it. Love is eternal. Love is so soft. It's overlooked. But love is so strong that it's gentle. Love is the greatest strength because of its gentleness. You won't meet many divine beings in the 7th-level ignorance. On the bottom beneath the earth, your mind is buried. Only thing can raise that mind out of that buried under the 7 layers of ignorance is understanding the 7 spiritual levels. And once you have the match of 7 earthly and 7 heavenly, or 7 spirits or 7 ethers, this is how you mend the mind. Your goal is to be mind mending, which is to be making yourself happier, lighter and lighter, lit and lit. You ain't never seen a shade come out the sun. It's lit. The sun is the happiest thing in this universe. It's the lightest thing. You might think it's lighter than space. It just floats above. It don't come down. That's how your mind it floats, but you don't understand it. You keep trying to organize it and structure it. The mind is not made for that. It's a non-material, infinite light. You can't grab light. You can't trap light. You can't form light. That's for matter. Matter is condensed light. The mind is ultra light. It never goes off. It never goes to sleep. That's who was aware that you was just came from sleep. Inside of that mind is Allah. This is what's the hardest to understand. This is why the darkness is the divinity. Al-Baka is the correct word for black. Black is divine by origin. Black is divine by nature. When that sunlight, when that moonlight, and when that starlight, when those three lights goes out, divinity is still present. You just call it darkness, but it's called divine. Al-Baka. Al-Baka. The divine rests in the dark. From the dark comes the light. From the black comes the white. From the night comes the light. This is fundamental first law. Deeds, words, and actions are all thought-based. Cardinal thoughts is what you have to know. Why am I making cardinal thoughts? Why am I assuming this negative form? Why am I acting such a way? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I being this way? Why I think this way? Why I have this same pattern? Why I say the same thing over and over? Most people ain't recognized, they just walking, repeating, telling people the same story they done told 50 times, and they not even where they done told it before. Allah God is on high. Everything that comes low is from lesser, and it's called the natural. Nature is divine, and the divine has a nature. That's why the universe exists. The nature of the divine is unity, the universe. Divine is universal. Man can become universal if he picks up the will of God. This is not a book to read. This is not a tongue to lift. This is a being to live. For thousands of years, the people who did not have the knowledge of the self or reality of God worship their own ideas of God. He has been made like many things other than what God really is. The demons refer to God as a mystery and a spirit. And the demons divide God into thirds. One part, the demon called the Father. The other part, the demon called the Son. And the third, the demon called the Ghost. Which makes the 3/3 1. 3/3. The law of mathematics will not allow us to put 3 into 1. Your nature rebels against such a devilish belief of God being a mystery and yet the father of a son and a ghost, without a wife or without a being something in reality. And this is where we are today. How can one teach the people to know God if you yourself don't know God? If I try teaching you that God is a divine being, a divine mind, they will say you are crazy. While they admit that God to them is a mystery, unknown. They teach not to make any likeness of him. Can God be a mystery and yet send prophets to represent God? Was the prophets representing a God that is mysterious, absent? Can a spirit speak a language? Have y'all heard the sun speak a language? The sun is a spirit. The tree, a spirit. Have you heard it speak a language? So what is the basis of this mystery spirit? Is the spirit independent of the material? This is what the conundrum has been with this mystery, God and spirit. To teach you that God is a mystery and a spirit is to teach you that God is unknowable. See how the devil been playing in the grounds of your mind. He didn't put no truth in your mind. So what's going to defend you? What's going to protect you? Your enemy didn't put his enemy in your mind. Your enemy put his servant in your mind. There's no such truth in a teaching called a mystery and a spirit. Can you teach me something that you do not know? So anything about God being a mystery is all false. By Al-Sufian law, all teachers will be removed from public. This mystery God, that's a spirit, is from the teachings of the demons. It was taught to them by their father, demonic father. Diablos. They know today that God, Allah, is not a mystery. But the demons will not teach it. The demon gods of evil was made to rule ignorance. Did you catch me? The demon gods was made to rule ignorance. So naturally, he would teach you to disrespect God and disobey him. So whoever been teaching out the Bible and the Quran have been worshiping demons that they know not. I'll take you into the most sacred, purest, holy book to be restored to the black man and the black woman of America. The truth that will make you free once accepted and once you follow Al-Sufian instructions. See, a true will respects science as one of the greatest gifts of Allah. Only a fool who follows evil men rejects the advancement of knowledge. For no better way can Allah show can a mystery spirit show his love of humanity. What's the great God Almighty, the divine creator, God Allah, the Holy One of Islam? What is the best way he could show his love to all humans? Is to reveal the secrets. Did you hear what the God, the divine creator, wants to reveal to you? The secrets of the universe. That's the whole thing, y'all. That's called all-knowing knowledge. And so that's why you live in the universe of Al-Sufian Islam, God, Allah. To be revealed. You here to be revealed. You here to see, sense, and respect what Allah has created and brought into existence like your very own being. If you believe God is a mystery, then you yourself is the mystery. Only Al-Sufian, Allah, reveals the secrets of the universe. See, nobody know how to ask right questions anymore. Everybody been dumbed down to Cooter Brown. So, no questions on open questions. This is how dead the demons have made humans.
That's a sign right there.
It is a sign. Now, I hope it ain't bad offline as it was online. Not one questioner, not one on a quest, not one seeking in the high hours of life.
My. Devil got a busy.
The busy body is as busy.
Busy body.
The busy body is your business. God make bodies. God is not a body. The universe and a body, you see within the universe bodies. But the universe itself is ethereal. It exists off a positive emotion. That's why the sun, it's a positive emotion. It's not negative. It don't have no negative in it. You come down because negative is mixed with positive. And you got to know as mind which one you are. And the mind never forgets. And the mind is eternal love. And this is the greatest gift given to you from God. Is your mind. And when you become a mind from a baby, from a spirit to a developed, full-grown soul called the mind, which is the way that you get home. So as you wake up in the illusion, know you are living in the universe of Al-Sufian Islam, God, Allah. As-salam, as-salam, as-salam. Islam, Al-Sufian.